And YouTube actually looking towards the spear table.
It's okay. It's gonna be doing so. It's already live. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's fine. Just go for it. Okay. We just work in the future. Okay. Okay. Go.
Hello, Maeya TV. My name is Alihia. I'm your host today. I am with Melissa Pellone, who is a fashion designer, which is really exciting. We're going to talk about her background in fashion and sort of the projects she's working on. So, how are you?
Doing so great. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, thank you for being here. So, I want to start off where your love of fashion started.
Definitely from a young age, I used to make clothes for my Barbies with my grandma. So as long as I can remember, I've loved fashion and going shopping with my mom. I just loved fashion and shopping and just how clothing can really transform you and make you feel like however you want to feel. Like if you want to feel empowered or pretty or feminine or bold, you can fashion is that vehicle that can take you there.
Yeah. So you told me you're from New York, right?
Yes.
Did that influence what you wanted to do in fashion, just being around like that big city?
I think absolutely. Being from New York, you have a lot of high fashion around you all the time, so definitely.
Yeah. When you're walking around the streets, do you see something and you're like, oh, that's so cool, and like, I would wear that, or, is that true? Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. So I know you moved out here for school, is that correct?
Yes, I went to FIDM, the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising, which is in LA.
So how much of, going to school, how does that like build into the creative process? Because sometimes it's schooling, sometimes it's outside things, right? So what was like that balance for you?
When I went to school at FIDM, what you learn in your classes you use for the rest of your career. I still use it to this day, so you really learn the fundamentals of design and how to create and color theory and everything. So, I mean, when I was in high school, even I was studying art and design and majoring in fashion design really, shows you what you can do with those abilities and that eye for style.
Yeah. So I think what's really cool about you is that you got a job straight out of school, right? And can you tell us a little bit about like your first job and like the industry?
Absolutely. When I graduated from FIDM, my degree in fashion design, my parents thought I'd move back to New York and come back. And I was like, no, I'm going to try and see. So I actually signed with an agent with Fourth Floor Agency, which is a special fashion designers agency. And I got a job at Guess right away. It was the first time they ever submitted me for anything, and I got the job right away, and I absolutely loved it. It was a really fun, amazing place to work, and I was able to see my designs in 86 countries. At the time, they were in 86 countries, so it was amazing.
What were some of the things you designed for Guess? Because it was a lot of dresses, right?
It was mostly special occasion dresses and separates.
Has that always been your favorite thing to design?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What like draws you into that? Like, do you love going out? Is it stuff that you're like, oh, I wish I could wear something like this? Or is it just because it's like very glamorous, or what about it?
All of the above. I absolutely love going out. I definitely love living in LA and having like a very, event-driven lifestyle. I actually, when I started my brand, I was wearing my own design on the red carpet, and I wanted the right thing to wear to Fashion Week. So I wore my own design, which is my Dahlia skirt, which is now my best-selling skirt. I show it every season. I reinvented in new colorways, new fabrications, and plus the classic black that was on the red carpet that year. So my line was inspired by my lifestyle and day to night dressing, so that I have lots of different events. So I could be at a lunch with my friends, and then a dinner later, and maybe an event for a film premiere or Fashion Week, and I want an outfit that can take me from literally the whole day. So that's kind of the idea behind my collection.
Well, LA is a great place for that because there's so many events. Is that something that drew you into staying in the city when you started your own brand?
Absolutely. When I moved to LA, I had this amazing creative group around me as well, mostly in music and film and entertainment. And fashion is just next to that and complements that. So I was super inspired by my lifestyle here and just all the things I was going to. And I fell in love with LA and the sunshine, so I definitely wanted to stay. And that, I was loved that I could actually make my brand here eventually, and I feel like new emerging brands and hot brands are coming out of LA versus other places.
So let's talk about your own collections. So with your brand, when did this start? Like what year?
It was actually 2017, and I had worn my design to Fashion Week as a guest. I was designing for a major corporate brand at the time, and I just wasn't feeling super inspired by the industry, and I saw a void in the market, and I really wanted to create something to fill that. So I created this outfit and I wore it to Fashion Week kind of at the very last minute, and the producers of the show saw me and loved it so much that they invited me to show the very next season. And I didn't have a line at the time, but I said, I guess I could make one, so I did. And within a month had, left my corporate design job, was in the process of designing my brand, and launched the very next season on the runway with 30 Lux.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really fast too.
Yeah, it was fast.
Yeah. Was that a no-brainer for you? Because I know you probably wanted to do this for a long time.
I had, so it was like kind of a dream ever since I was little. I definitely wanted to be a designer, and even from 8th grade, I was practicing my logo and designing it, which is now my logo for my brand today. So I think I was just between my working in the industry, going to school and being trained in fashion design, I was just ready. I was just looking for that little push to make me do it, and I did. So that's like almost 8 years ago now. I can't even believe it. And since I've shown on the runway like 18 times at official fashion weeks, and I do shows all over the world. I'm going to be doing Paris Fashion Week in the fall, going to India to design bags for my show, doing some amazing partnerships, and just absolutely love it. So I'm really excited about it.
That's so nice. So when you were creating those first pieces, what really drew you, because I know it's very feminine, it's very pretty, and what were the things that you looked at? Was it nature? Was it other pieces?
So I'm really inspired by fabric, and I think every designer is unique and different, but for me, I see a fabric and I just see the dress in my head, so I really envision it. So my line is really fabric driven. I use the most beautiful fabrics I can find, and I love being able to see it in person and touching and feeling, and when I see the fabric, I see the dress, it really just will click for me. And it's just, that's how I kind of look around for inspiration, is just shopping and looking. And then I'm also looking for innovative fabrics, so something I haven't seen before, because I want to create something a little bit unique and different. And I've really built a signature style, all the things I love about fashion I will incorporate into every piece, and it's kind of a formula, and I don't really see anyone else doing that. So it's now at this point, it's very, if you know the brand, you're recognizing it when you see it, and it could be a totally different design, but you'll see it in the details.
Yeah. So one of those is you're wearing a piece from your own collection, right? So what I noticed, there's a pattern of sequins sometimes. Can you tell us why you like to work with sequins so much?
I think just for the glamour aspect and the texture and the shine. So I really love sequins. I think old Hollywood glamour really inspires me. There's an innovative way you can execute these fabrications into something modern and that stands out. So I really create special occasion pieces that are special enough to wear on a red carpet, but could, be at an interview here today and just feel really glam, really chic, and give you the boost or confidence, to be unique and different and that.
You said something really interesting upstairs, where if you have a sequin dress, you have 2 sequin dresses or
multiples.
Because they flip, right? So
yes.
they change.
Yes, so you can see, so it's I kind of really love this aspect when I saw this fabric. I absolutely loved it. I was like, wow, I had seen sequins in the market, but it was just tonal. And when I saw this come out, I was like, oh, this is really different. And I started using it because I go to so many events, and even though I have a huge wardrobe, I still run out of outfits to wear. So what I love is I can wear something to an event, and then I can just change it. You know, I can make it all white, or I can make it all black, or I can make it a mix of both, and it's gonna have a different look. And I love restyling the pieces with other pieces in my wardrobe so that you can have a piece that's an investment piece. It's beautifully made, beautifully crafted, and you know, you're investing the money into it, but you're not just, it's not just wear it once and like put it in the closet. You can wear it and enjoy it multiple ways and style it multiple ways. And I think that's what makes my line really unique and different.
Yeah.
So
I think my favorite piece from the collection was like that beautiful dress with the colorful butterflies. Like, how did that one come about? Because that one's a little bit different, huh?
So I had gone to Fashion Week and as a guest, and I saw the Cynthia Raleigh show, and she was doing something with butterflies, but they were all black or all white. And I just was like, I love that idea, but it's not happy. It feels like moths or something. And I saw this fabric when I was like shopping, and it was these beautiful color butterflies, and I'm like, this is how I do butterflies differently, because I want my line to bring joy to people and happiness, and not to be like depressing or drab, but I want like beautiful colors that make you feel good. And I was just like, this is how I do butterflies. Like, this is how I'm this is my eye on the trend and reinventing it and doing it in my own way.
Yeah. Along with some of the looks on the runway, you collaborate with, I mean, I know you do handbags as well, right? But you also collaborate with other artists. Is that something that you like to do a lot?
I do. I love to collaborate. I collaborate a lot with a jewelry brand. She makes a lot of beautiful by hand pieces. My favorite are this flower collection. A lot of people will see me, I'm not wearing them today, but usually you'll see me on the red carpet wearing them with my gowns or dresses. And I also am designing handbags with an Indian company that's been in business for 6 generations. So we came together and created this really beautiful collection, and all the bags are made by hand, and they're beautifully embroidered, and you know, just it's in the details. So we've really come together to create something unique and beautiful. And then I love even just styling my shows or my outfits with these beautiful bags. So I love to pair my pieces with other emerging artists, or even you know, established brands, because it's a way to complement each other and accessorize a look and really create a statement.
How does it feel taking your fashion like internationally to go into other cities? And do you feel if like there's a different reception in depending on the city that you go to?
Absolutely. I love, like, I'm always expanding my brand. I really love doing New York. I'm going to be doing Paris. I did Fashion Travel Week in Europe, was Italy, France, and Spain. So we went to different cities in Europe, in those countries, and we shot and did all these photo shoots in Portofino and Antibes. It was really, really beautiful. So I'm interested to see internationally the reception when we can roll it out more, but I'm absolutely loving it, and I want to share it with everyone in all different countries, and you know, we'll see.
Yeah. So speaking of which, you were also featured in Harper's Bazaar, right? How did that come about?
So I knew when I went to New York Fashion Week that I wanted to do a photo shoot in New York that was very New York. So I contacted this photographer I had worked with, and I talked to him about, you know, hey, let's do this photo shoot and let's submit it for publication, editorial publication, and we did. And I collaborated with Zardozi on that for our New York Fashion Week show. We were doing a show, so we did the shoot around the show and used beautiful models, and it was an amazing, incredible shoot. So I'm really proud of that.
So what comes next
So-
for your brand? I know you're doing Paris and you're taking it around still. Like, what do you
Mhm.
see in the future for you?
Well, I'm actually going to India to design bags for the show, and we're going to be shooting for Vogue, and so just expanding to more stores, making it more accessible to more people, because right now I've been mostly in designer boutiques, but I'm not in department stores yet just because I haven't had time to get there, but I would love to see it on a more global scale, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah. And I think you mentioned that you make everything in-house, right? Like everything is LA based and you're taking it from here to other places, right? Is there like a reason you wanted to do that? Just like to have the control over everything?
I really believe, I'm American, so I believe in supporting my country and making my product here where I can control it and ensure the highest quality possible in my collection, and have access to making a dress in 3 days or making a production just a few weeks time. I love if I'm making something custom, a client can come into our office, we can take measurements, we can make something pretty quickly. I love also working with a team that's based here and supporting businesses here, other businesses here, like whether I'm buying all my fabric here or my trims or employing American workers. It's a passion of mine and a commitment I've made to my brand, where I'm not gonna sacrifice on quality or details or anything that go into the design and the overall vision. So.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah. Do you have any advice for any one that wants to start their own brand?
I think go to school for sure, go and work for people, and then talk to mentors and people that you admire, and just work really hard and don't give up, because it's really tough and there's a really small group of people that are doing this, but have a clear vision of what you want to do, whatever it is, be unique and different, and don't try and do what other people are doing, because there's room for everybody, and if you have a voice, let that voice kind of speak and reach someone, and don't copy what other people are doing, because that's not original. But you can create your own signature and your own voice and make your own signature, what you want to do and create, and that's special. The world needs that.
Was there ever a question as to what you were going to name your own brand because it was so personal?
I think because it's so personal, it definitely was always, I wanted it to be a namesake brand. I did, when I was younger, go back and forth, what would the name be? But then when I just created it, it was like, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah, it's yours. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, have you ever run into your collection in the wild, seen someone that's mine?
Absolutely. What I love is even I have friends that'll text me a picture oh my god, I went to a party and this girl was wearing your dress, and she'll take a picture or something. So that's really fun when you go to an event and you don't know the person, but they are wearing your design and you see it, and it kind of has its own life then.
And it's also a testament to you have your own signature on it, right? If it's recognizable, you're oh, that's hers. Yeah. Okay. So where can we find you? Do you have a website? Just active on socials?
Absolutely. You can find me at Pellone Designer Collection on Instagram. You can also find me at melissapellone.com. You can also find me in several local designer boutiques in Southern California and the United States, and hopefully, at Fashion Week this year.
That's so exciting, and congratulations on getting to travel with your collection.
Thank you.
And Vogue is really exciting, so so check her out.
Amazing. I do have one more thing. I was I have a trunk show coming up on March 22nd in Costa Mesa, and then I do have a fashion show with a modeling agency on the 29th of March in LA.
Oh, that's exciting. So it's local, okay?
Local.
All right, so thank you guys for watching. It was so great to get to talk to you.
Yeah.
And I'll catch you at the next one.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.